Here you go, and get my cheaters on. Hey, I have another life-saving award for solar officers. This actually occurred about a year ago. And it had some news media coverage, but I want to recognize everyone that was in this because once again, as Chief Snyder explained, it's a chain, it's a whole link, and it takes everyone to save a life. It's not just one individual. It has to do with your command that somebody that's going to call for a decision for something to happen. It's also going to call for the people to make it happen, and then the person to arrive to them. So I want to just read from this. It says the Elmston Township Police Department believes in the recognition of officers, their actions, and outstanding efforts in service to the community and their fellow officers. In keeping within the belief, the Elmston Township Police Department recognizes officers Ryan Hare, Officer Michael Blatnick, Sergeant Spagnola, and Sergeant Corey Sears for their outstanding efforts that occurred on the afternoon of September 2nd, 2023. On the afternoon of September 2nd, 2023, Sergeant Sears, Sergeant Spagnola, Officer Blatnick, and Officer Hare responded to 11 Walnut Trail in Columbia Park regarding a 78-year-old male named Roger Lipstrew, who had not returned home from his walk in the park. Officers were informed Mr. Lipstrew had a history of stroke in the past, and it was a warm afternoon. After searching the immediate area with no success and quite a time lapse since his walk, which was 2 hours, the decision was made by Sergeant Sears to deploy the agency's drone and to help locate Mr. Lipstrew. The drone team, comprised of Officer Hare, Officer Blatnick, deployed the drone and continued to search for approximately 1 hour, in which time Mr. Lipstrew was spotted by the aid of the drone. Officer Hare, who was operating the drone at this time, could see that Mr. Lipstrew was lying on the ground in a construction area not far from his residence. The area was not easily accessible, but the drone team was able to direct both Sergeant Sears and Sergeant Spagnola to his location. Once Sergeant Sears and Sergeant Spagnola arrived at Lipstrew's location, they discovered Mr. Lipstrew to be severely dehydrated and extremely fatigued. Mr. Lipstrew would be quickly extracted from the location by both sergeants and handed off to the awaiting Olmsted Township paramedics and transported to the hospital for definitive care. Had any of these supervisor or officers delayed or opted not to enhance the search efforts via the department's aerial drone, the outcome could have resulted in a more tragic outcome. Therefore, the actions of Sergeant Sears, Sergeant Leo Spagnola, Officer Ryan Hare, and Officer Michael Blatnick qualify them for this life-saving award and bestows upon them the police department and township's appreciation. So at this time, I would like to we'll go by rank first. So and I think is that beauty too, right? Yeah, thank you. All right, Leo, would you like to step up here? Okay, Leo was the first one to arrive to Mr. Lipstrew when the drone team had him arrive there. Leo, this is for you. I thank you for all that you do in the service and your dedication. And I also have your life-saving award as well and this letter of commendation. Thank you, Leo. Appreciate your answer. Okay, Sergeant Sears is not here. He's the other sergeant. The one thing is, this would not happen without Sergeant Sears. He was the one that called for the drone to be put up in the air. After they searched for over an hour and they could not find him, it was Sergeant Sears' decision to say, let's get the drone in the air and see if the drone can find it. Without that, without having that piece of the puzzle or the link, if you will, it could have been a drastic outcome. The next one that we have, though, is going to be Officer Ryan Hare. Yeah, Ryan, thank you. Ryan was on the controls that day. He was actually flying the drone at the time, and it was the actual one to actually see him on the drone itself. So thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it once again. I have for you a letter, also your plaque, and a life-saving award as well. Thank you very much. Like once again, Michael was. When we do a drone, I just want everyone to know it's a two-person operation. It's not a solo. They can't fly the drone by itself. Pretty much the person that's flying the drone has their nose in the controls and is watching the screen. The drone that's up in the air has to be spotted by an actual spotter the entire time. They also are somebody that can take control of the drone and fly it as well. Mike was also an operator as well. if this went any longer too, I know Mike would have swapped in and taken over because, it being on the controls for so long, you want to pass that duty off and you want to switch it off. But once again, thank you, Mike, for being a spotter in this and also helping, assisting. I have also for you a life-saving, certificate and your plaque and, your accommodation. Anyone get some pictures? Okay. Want to bring up?
Yeah, you guys want to come for some pictures?
Sure.
Mr. Carter, would you mind coming up too? Ashley, would you mind coming up for another picture? He's on your own. He thought he was gone. Your flag.
Let's take a snap.
Okay, is everyone ready?
Say, we love the township.
I've got a problem.
Love you, Brian.
No, it's ever enough. Listen, you have been over. There's lots of things. Sweet. Okay, all right.
Kirby's there.
Yeah, yeah, everybody. All right, okay, we can all swap out then. Let's swap out.
Only get it here and then just push it.
I got it. I think we got it.
You want to get the problem separate?
Yeah, we get it.
Don't bring your license. Okay, those that were involved with Mr. Roger Lipstrew, if we can have you up here for your picture as well. So we have Ryan Hare, Leo Spagnola, Mike Blatnick, and trustees. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll slide in. We'll have, hey, man, you take the picture, you know, like, porch day. Scott, we'll do it. Never known.
Just in case of that. Couple extra. Perfect. Right. We can one more with us from and the firefighters, their wives.
Okay, welcome to trustees, firefighters, and their wives, if they could please come up. Keep taking turn.
And drop the ball now.
Great. I'm driving both the board plate. We're elected.
I think I have to bunch together something in a ramping.
Come on, man. Thank you.
I got it.
All right, great.
Thank you very much. Just want to get individual by the time.
Chef, sir.
You have a new chef today, right? Yes, yeah, he said so. That's what I'm getting. Oh, yeah.
Because you had it for what, last time? Was it just brand new?
Oh, you had that. Natural causes. Yeah. there you go. So, yeah.
I didn't hit a car.
It's awesome. This dude, that's awesome.
Nice catch. Nice job, sir. Sir. Nice job.
If I can ever say to you, I'll get right. We're gonna just all everyone to say a couple of things really quickly. I'm gonna pass the floor to him and microphone to Mr. Carter. Mr. Scott Carter.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm just so pleased to be around this great group of gentlemen and around Ashley and be able to actually speak about this, because prior to this point in time, I've just been playing the part of the dead guy. But they let me say a couple words. You got first on NCIS, gets to say one or two words. But no, I was a paramedic firefighter for about 15 plus years. So one of the things we learned over that time was how critical that you spoke of tonight, that whole continuum is to do that. There were too many times I went on a call where everybody was standing there going, "Oh, great, you're here." I'd be like, "Oh, great, I'm not gonna be able to do a lot now." But it was my wife waking up, and note to all husbands real quickly, make sure when you go to sleep at night, your wife loves you. Someone, she might roll over at 5 or so and go, just not sure. But it was great for Connie, who had had that training 20 years ago, for Ashley to walk her through that. And for that 4 minutes, which the 4 minutes that it took for the police to get there was pivotal, because that was the difference. You keep the blood flow going. That meant you had good cognitive recovery and probably recovery at all. And because of it, then they had something to work with. And what they had to work with was still me, but they were able to get it back. And I'm still as ordinary today as I was before. But that whole issue of citizen involvement, BCLS, and then ACLS was what we always preached. And they're all three are important. So as we go forward and we look at the realities of life and you know, how we spend our dollars and where we put our dollars and wherever, I would always say the best place you are to put your dollar are these gentlemen and these ladies around here. Your firemen, your policemen, your dispatch, because someday we're all gonna call. Whatever that call is gonna be. I didn't know when I went to sleep that night. That at 5:10 in the morning or so, there was gonna be a call place, that at 63, I had died. And I looked at the report, so it was hard as a paramedic to look at the report and then realize I'm looking at my own strip, and that strip is saying, again. I go, wow, that's interesting. You can play a lot of games with yourself, but you can't look at a strip as a paramedic and go, that doesn't mean that I was a couple minutes away from that. So congratulations, just an awesome fire department, an awesome police department. I just lift these guys up forever. Ashley and everything you did. My wife is not here, who I just love dearly because she was the angel that found something and was comfortable with it and initiated that. And I'm still here until the guy above who wasn't ready for me yet. So, got above and to all the people here, you know, my angels, and I'm so thankful to all of you. We're giving this opportunity to say thanks in person, live, and just enjoying every day, every moment. And congratulations and applause.
All right, we're gonna get back to our regularly scheduled programming shortly, so anybody who doesn't want to sit around for a public meeting, you're free to move about the township.
Took that line from you.
All right, that's all good.
Yeah.
That's the best form of flattery, right?
I know, right?
Yeah. I can say it's, yeah.
Pretty sure. Is there anything? You want to want it?
Yes, please. Thank you. Sure. Yeah, thank you. No, thank you. So how's your coffee? You're still doing well? Right.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. 24 years. Wow.
In order to stay on the board of the elections.
Oh, yeah.
We can do
Yeah.
that.
Do both. If you're appointed.
Yeah.
But you can't do them about, so I had to look at.
Makes me happy.
There you go.
That's the connection.
Picture, yeah. Picture predecessor.
Or 4 days.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I regret the decision.
Yeah.
Since I've been having. General.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Michelle.
Thank you. You're fine. All right, we'll call this meeting back to order. Presentations are done. I believe we have no public comment related to the agenda. First off, we'll have our report from our township administrator, Mr. Yowanowski.
Mr. Chairman, we're going to type thank you. What? Well, that was such a great thing, and that's gonna be extremely hard to follow. I'll try my best, so, just a reminder to the residents out there, we've been getting some calls about First Energy and Cox outages. They've kind of ramped up over the past couple of weeks. Just want to let everyone know, please first contact First Energy or your utility provider. We do our best to put those inquiries in, but in order for you to get established in their system to start to activate their service, please notify them first. Just want to let everyone know that the township has applied for the community development supplemental grant. This is through Cuyahoga County. We applied for $50,000 for 2 pickleball courts at our Brentwood Park. So that grant was submitted on September 16th. I believe we will find out before the end of the year if they're awarded that. We also applied for the community development block grant, also through Cuyahoga County, in the amount of $150,000 for sidewalk installation on Mackenzie Road. That's from Cook Road to the North Olmsted border. The total project cost on that is $329,950. Again, we should know before the end of the year if we were awarded those funds. I want to let everyone know that the Joint Economic Development District Board, the JED Board, met this Wednesday, September 18th. We had a good discussion. Our economic developer, Jeremy Rowan, briefed the board on sort of the update of the JED and kind of the next steps and the direction of it. We also approved to pay it off for that. So just some items pertaining to the agenda items tonight. I wanted to discuss the survey proposal. This is mainly for our police department in the multi-factor authentication and encryption. The estimated cost for that is $11,500. We are applying, our police department is working on a grant for that with our IT vendor. So hopefully those costs will be recovered.
There is a purchase order on the agenda tonight for some tree purchasing for our dog park and nature trail. The vendor is Davis Tree Farm and Nursery. This is about 37 trees. This is our next phase to line the entranceway to the dog park. That one is in the amount of $6,500. As you recall, we did receive the tree canopy grant from Cuyahoga County, so these funds will then be reimbursed through the county. We also have a change order one for the dog park and nature trail. This is to grant approval to Extreme Excavating to install the sidewalk on Shady Road and the rest of the section in front of the dog park. So the total estimated cost on that is $303,000. So we are looking for approval for that tonight. And then finally, we have resolution 9424, which is our first department retaining for breezy truck and paving for snow and ice removal on county roads. There is no cost increase from last year, so I want to thank Mr. Williams for continuing that relationship with Breezy. So we'll seek approval for that tonight. And that's my report.
Thank you. I just want to say thanks for all your work on the CDBG applications. I've did several of those myself over the years, and they take a lot of time and a lot of doing, and it's very perfunctory. So I just want to say thank you because it allows us to leverage a lot of grant dollars that we wouldn't otherwise have. So thank you for your work on that.
Thank you support from the board for applying for those. It's free money essentially, right? So might as well try and get everything we can.
That's right. Thank you. Was there any other questions from the board?
No.
Good.
Thanks, Gary.
Cool. All right. Next up, trustee and committee reports. Trustees Bear, I know he just touched on the JED.
He did touch on the JED. The only thing I wanted to add was, on March 12th of next year is our next JED
March
meeting.
12th.
So March 12th of next year, 2025.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll add that to the minutes. Trustee Cole, anything you want to report on?
Couple things. I attended the State of the County address 2 weeks ago with Trustee Alton. That was a good experience and got to meet a lot of people down there, so that was good.
Yeah.
And then Administrator Yalanowski and I attended the annual NOACA meeting and luncheon last week. And that was a good presentation as well, too.
That's great.
That's all I have.
Thanks for representing the township. Just for my cemetery board report, I will just say that we're meeting tomorrow. I believe the notices have all been publicly posted, and there should be some on the doors actually, but I believe it is at 1 p.m. So cemetery board will be meeting tomorrow at the cemetery board offices at 1 p.m. We'll talk about a new board office and things like that. So that's all I have to report. We'll move on to department reports. First up, fire department. Chief Schneider. Sir.
First with our report is going to be about personnel. We have the part-time firefighter, Jesse Dean. He's reached 5 years of service as a part-time firefighter, and he's been serving in the township for 5 years. Another part-timer is Leo's Bernoulli. He's completed all his training. He's currently picking up shifts. We're able to go and assign him to 8 shifts. He's going to be a dependable part-timer, which means he's going to be working quite a bit of shifts for our firefighter. As far as training, EMS training for September with Southwest is medication review and preparation. Fire department staff's been completing the HIPAA and bloodborne pathogens training through the training platform Fire Rescue One. We're participating in Columbia Township's water shuttle training throughout the month. And we are participating in Cleveland Hopkins International Airport's full-scale exercise on September 25th. It's their large-scale, they have a disaster, like an emergency management disaster that stresses the whole system. We're participating with that. For the equipment and the facilities, we're looking into quotes for new elliptical and treadmills, treadmill to replace the current equipment. We have a quote to complete the station flooring project. We've had Stryker representatives presented and delivered a quote for their new LifePak 35 cardiac monitors. It's the new generation cardiac monitors, and we just wanted to test them out and have them show us the new systems and what they're capable of. Phoenix Fire Equipment provided quotes for 16 sets of new structural firefighting gear. The tower is back in service with all major repairs completed. For grants updates, we have Ohio State Fire Marshal grant application has been filed and awaiting decision. The Ohio EMS grant has been awarded, and we plan on using those funds to purchase the new intubation equipment, which just today was released from Southwest. It's going to be the Quick Trade, if I'm not mistaken. I am mistaken. It's AirTrack is the name of the device. It's a It's a video laryngoscopy, and we can go ahead and we can visualize the epiglottis, and we can slide that tube into the right area. And so it aids the paramedic in getting the tube into place. The SAFER grant has been submitted, but we're still waiting to find out we've been awarded the new SAFER grant. We've also, Tri-C students are completing their ride time with us. There's different variations of their program. Coffee with the Chiefs is the last Wednesday of the month at 09 in the community room. And one of the things we're pushing is some of the fire department programs. I put some paperwork in this back table over there. A couple programs, the Fire Life program, the Smoke Detector program, and the Lockbox program. All information is in that back table. And anyone who would like to get further information, you can call the fire department, and we'd be glad to discuss any of these programs. Total incidents for September is going to be 1,720. 110 for September, month of September. There's been 8 fire-related calls, 72 EMS calls, 1 MVA, 16 service calls, 1 lockout, 1 lift assist, 1 power line down, and 10 canceled en route. That's that our report. Has any questions?
Any questions from the board? Oh, thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you.
Right. Next up, we'll have the service department, Director Williams. You guys are attached to the hip somehow. It's fair to mix up.
Good evening, Service Department's report for September 19th. I feel a little awkward not beginning it with talking about Stearns Road, but
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I have to anymore.
yeah.
This week I attended the Cuyahoga County Department of Public Works and Ownership Township Coordination meeting. Also, we will be attending the Olmsted Township Maintenance Agreement meeting on October 1st. This is to go over our force account. This is the 4th quarter, the 3rd quarter. I also attended a pre-bid guardrail replacement over the Turnpike overpass on Usher. They put out, the Cuyahoga County is looking to replace the full guardrail on Usher.
Oh.
And they're waiting to get bids in. Once they get bids in, I'll find out when the start time, anticipation of start time will be.
Okay.
They do think they will get it all completed this year. Our participation with ODOT, Ohio Department of Transportation, the salt contract, that was awarded to Cargill. Salt will be $49.98 a ton. We're obligated to accept 2,000 tons this season. So we should confidently be fine. Just a reminder, the city of Berea has a project on the very south end of the township on Barrett Road. It is a culvert replacement, so they will be closing that portion for 90 days. So it's just that end portion. You just will not be able to on Barrett Road to travel south in the area. For some, it'll be challenging. I hope it's not longer than 90 days and it gets completed as quick as possible. Just our force account total as through August, we're at $355,112.71. So we're kind of on par. Township, our guys are staying busy. We are continuing the dredging of the ditch on Shady Road. This is near our nature trail. This is a stormwater project to alleviate stormwater. Our crew has also completed the resetting of storm basins in the villages of Lakeside. Did a few on Stearns, and actually they completed the crack sealing of Stearns from the North Olmsted border to Cook Road. Did a great job. On the agenda tonight is the possible ordering of the trees for our Drive 1, as the administrator had mentioned, for Drive 1 phase and Drive 2 phase of our nature trail. It's 37 more trees. And our guys, we're starting our fall decor. So we accomplished putting our fall banners out on our major intersections. So those are up. And next week we'll be starting the displays, the strong girls and all that good stuff. Facilities and equipment, We're getting close on a police parking expansion. CEI did take the poll down. We appreciate that. And so we're just waiting for a start time. Empire Paving is just waiting for some surveying of the parking lot. And once that gets completed, we should be on to go on that. And just some updates, programs, branch chipping, always a popular thing. That'll be the 30th of this month. And we will have one more in the October will be our last one. We also did with all of our collections throughout our residents that bring to us our household hazardous waste. We did do a drop off that was 2,091 pounds we dropped off the Cuyahoga County Solid Waste District. That's also a great program. And I will be remiss before the meeting, me and Gary, the administrator, trustee Cole, trustee Riley, we went to our town hall and Meg Hennessy works for Soil and Water. She's our watershed coordinator and just did a phenomenal job. We had volunteers and she was constructing a pollinator garden. So we learned a lot about bees and pollination and all that great stuff. But she did a phenomenal job. She's really into her job, as you can see. So so appreciate them, the volunteers. It looks really nice. So just wanted to bring that up. So this concludes my report.
Very good. Any questions from the board? No. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, police department. You bet.
Well, Justin, mine is gonna be shorter than yours. Okay, so first of all, I do want to recognize Patrolman Anthony Travato. Anthony's been with us for now 11 years. If you've been stopped on Lewis Road, it's probably Anthony Travato. He leads our traffic enforcement for now, I will say all 11 years. There's nobody even comes close to him. He does a wonderful job of slowing everyone down.
He does.
So, hats off to him, and he's also aspiring. He wants to be a supervisor someday here, and he's one of our drone operators. I can't say enough good stuff about Anthony. He's a hard worker. He's actually a township president, and very fortunate to have him. Very short, just got a lot of, we have to do annual qualifications every year. And so some of our annual qualifications we're wrapping up for our firearms training, just making sure that everyone is past that. And I think all our members are through now, we're completed. And also we have coming up this week is our defense tactics, which is an annual in service as well. That's going to take place on Wednesday, the 25th. And our DT instructors are Sergeant Leo Spagnola and also Logan Kidler. And yeah, we're excited to do that. And that's going to be just an 8-hour course, if you will. Some other things miscellaneous. We just have coffee with the chief. That's going to be on Wednesday, September 25th at 9 a.m. here at the community room. Come and join us. It's always a good time for coffee with the chiefs and also Angelina's Pizza, and we'll make sure we have donuts and coffee for you. Just moving forward, there is a typo on for nothing for equipment, but for the stats. It says July and August. I'll get that fixed. That's supposed to be actually, that's going to be August to September. So August 16th through September 1st. Our actual CAD entries that we had are going to be 408. Our incident reports were 5. We had 1 motor vehicle accident. We had 2 arrests, and we had 42 traffic citations and 56 community engagements. That completes my report unless any member of the board have any questions.
Any questions from the board?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, next up, Commissioner Reed.
Thank you, members of the board. So with my report, as far as the staff goes, there's no update. We have the same staff, nothing's going on there. We are still looking to fill a position to help ensure that we can meet the staffing requirements of the inspections that are happening now and also the inspections that we plan to be performing in the future with future developments. Internal projects, so we should have all of our records scanned in for all of our what's called our street files, which would be our records for each individual property, street by street. We should have all of those scanned in by the end of this month. We haven't scanned in the large development plans. That's going to be a process in the future that requires a large format scanner, a little different process. Upcoming projects. So I did attend the BZA meeting last night. There was a Sheetz gas station conditional use hearing. That has actually been continued to next month. So there will be a meeting next month, October 16th, for a conditional use for a Sheetz gas station at the corner of Stearns and Bagley. Statistics, in August, we had a total of 61 permits issued with an estimated construction value of $1,979,998. And then we received 11 property maintenance complaints, 7 of which have been resolved thus far. Any questions?
Very efficient. Any questions from the board?
No, just a comment. Remember, it's a marathon, not a race. It's gonna be a couple years, so you're doing great. You really are.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Justin.
Very good. Next up, legal counsel Jim Matthews, anything to report?
No, nothing bad. Thank you.
Very good. Fiscal officer Brian Gillette.
That was the shortest.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
true.
nice meeting you. Try that star.
I can.
When he's talking, sometimes it's a problem, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I'll be the second shortest. So we have our 2-year audit that's going on right now. It's essentially done. We just have to have a closing meeting. So we'll go ahead and do that hopefully here, get that scheduled. We're just waiting for the auditors to come to us. And then I'll have the August financials done and send all the financials out for all the way through August to everybody. So that's it.
Great. Awesome. Before we move on, there's no old business. Before we move on to new business, I'm going to move to amend the agenda. So under new business, item B, I'm going to amend that item so that it reads road striping, most county roads and Bronson Road. And it will be in an amount not to exceed $42,000. And then
Can you say that again?
Yes.
Most
so
county
it will
roads.
be most county roads and Bronson Road in an amount not to exceed $42,000. Is that correct, Gary? Or I'm good on that.
That's fine.
Okay,
It is with JD striping.
correct. Everything else is the same.
Okay, just want to add on to it.
Yep. So we'll be like crossing off Bronson Road there, if that makes sense. Because it says Bronson Road. So you'd say most county roads and Bronson Road,
Yep.
not to exceed $42,000. And then we'll also, within the same motion, add resolution 95, 2024, a nuisance abatement at the request of the building department. I've moved it. Is there a second?
Second,
Thank you. Mr. Officer, call the roll.
Okay, so we want to go ahead and amend the agenda for wording in new business item B.
Correct.
And also adding on D
95.
95-2024. And to approve the adjustments to the agenda, trustee Alton.
Yes.
Trustee Cole.
Yes.
And trustee Zver.
yes,
Very good, thank you. New business item A, Simvey proposal, leads compliant CAD RMS MDT multi-factor authentication and encryption estimate in the amount of $11,500. I'm gonna move that, and I can't believe I didn't fumble any of those words.
Second. Okay, and to approve the Simvey proposal, trustee Alton.
Yes.
Trustee Cole.
Yes.
And trustee Zver.
yes,
New business item B, JD Striping and Services Incorporated, quote, road striping for most county roads and Bronson Road in an amount not to exceed $42,000. I'll move to approve.
second,
Okay, and to approve the JD striping, trustee Alton.
Yes.
And trustee Cole.
Yes.
And trustee Zver.
yes,
I also want to commend our administrator and Director Williams for staying after that item because we were having some force account issues and the county was able to work with us. We spoke with Director Dever this afternoon and evening. County Councilman Sweeney was helpful.
I'd like to thank Marty personally for helping out there to get that pushed through.
And he said to make sure that both Tom and Lisa know that he did it for you guys. He didn't help for me. if we could try to make sure some version of that is, some acknowledgement of him is in the minutes, that would be helpful, I think, and fitting. So new business items C, transfer asset police department, Tricon RMR selling to DNA Armory for store credit. I'll move to approve.
Second.
Okay, to approve the asset transfer to the police department, trustee Alton,
Yes.
trustee Cole.
Yes.
And trustee Zare.
Yeah,
New business item C, tree purchase for dog park and nature trail, Davis Tree Farm and Nursery. I'll move to approve.
second,
Okay, and to approve the tree purchase for the dog park, trustee Alton
Yes.
and trustee Cole.
Yes.
And trustee Zare.
yeah,
And then new business item E, change order number 1, dog park and nature trail, Shady/Stearns Road connector sidewalk. I will move to approve that change order, and thank you to everybody who's put in a lot of work to get the grant application to cover, I believe, about half of that, and to get the easements, and it's a lot of work to do just a sidewalk. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's worked hard on that, and I'll move to approve item E.
Second.
And to approve the change order for the dog park connector sidewalk, trustee Alton,
Yes.
trustee Cole.
Yes.
Trustee Zare.
yes,
Great. Consent agenda items are available upon request. Item A, special meeting minutes, September 5th, 2024. And item B, payments of bills and payroll, warrants, vouchers, and EOs. Take a minute to review the minutes if you haven't. I don't believe any corrections are necessary. But we should be good.
I reviewed them. They look fine to me.
Good to go? Oh, yeah. You want to move to approve? Is that?
Sure, I'll move to approve.
Okay, and then to approve, trustee Alton
Yes.
and trustee Cole
Yes.
and trustee Zare.
yeah.
All right. Sorry, I lost my place. Requisitions, FD 2024-04 payable to Vital Flooring and Renovations amount not to exceed $11,000. I'll move to approve the requisition.
Second,
Okay, and to approve requisition FD 2024-004 for the flooring, trustee Alton
Yes.
and trustee Cole.
Yes.
And trustee Zare.
yes,
And thank you, Chief, for seeing that flooring project through. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Resolution 92, 2024 reappropriation / budget adjustment transfers. I'll move to approve.
Second.
Okay, and to approve resolution 092-2024, the reappropriation and budget adjustments and transfers, trustee Alton,
Yes.
trustee Cole.
Yes.
And trustee Zare.
yes,
Resolution 93, 2024 expenditure / department purchase orders. I'll move to approve.
second,
Okay, and to approve resolution 093-2024, the expenditure and department purchase orders, trustee Alton
Yes.
and trustee Cole.
Yes.
And trustee Zare.
yes,
Resolution 94, 2024 service department retaining for Breezy Trucking and Paving Incorporated for snow and ice treatment. Appreciate Director Williams and his efforts to keep the roads clear and working with Febreze to do both our township and our county roads between the two of them. And it's been a great long-standing arrangement. I think we see a really good result. So I'll move to approve with that comment.
Second.
And to approve resolution 094-2024, the service department retaining of Febreze Trucking for the snow and ice treatment, trustee Alton
Yes.
and trustee Cole
Yes.
and trustee Zare.
yes,
Awesome. And resolution 95, 2024, it's a nuisance abatement. I will move. Do I need to say anything else here? I think that's it. All right, I'll move to approve the nuisance abatement.
second,
Okay, and to approve resolution 95-2024,
Thank you. Sorry about that.
the nuisance abatement, trustee Alton,
Yes.
trustee Cole
Yes.
and trustee Zare.
yes,
And seeing no further business, I'll move to adjourn the meeting at 8:30 PM.
second,
Okay, and to adjourn the meeting, trustee Alton,
Yes.
trustee Cole
Yes.
and trustee Zare.
yes.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Free to move about the town.
Pretty efficient for everything that's going on.